Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, the Other. First of all, I finally found the answer to a query I had a few years ago about what happened with the College Hill Apartments in Huntsville, Alabama. I remember seeing them in 1965 when we arrived, briefly occupied, soon abandoned. One always wanted to know what the story was on why they were abandoned so suddenly. And what I found out from a man that worked there in 1965 was that a neurosurgeon purchased them in hopes that a Huntsville hospital complex would be put on the land. He held on to the apartments and land for quite a while as he bought both apartments and land and finally sold it piecemeal. What I'm going to do this evening is read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." This is an old book from my childhood. At least goes back in the 1960s. You can see the old 29-cent price tag on it. See, this thing's about to fall apart, and you got the Whitman logo right there. And it's bending. It's about to go in half, and you can see there's a lot of staples supporting it. So let me go ahead and get this book together and read it. "'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to a wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his courses they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on a roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. Showing you the pictures as I go along. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed up in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook like when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A winking of his eye and a twist of his head, soon he gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockies, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him explain, as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And this is the back part of the book. And the very back of Santa Claus. And one more look at the front of this book that I've saved since my childhood. And hope you enjoyed this. And as always, Merry Christmas to everybody, and thanks for watching.